Hello, Facebook family. Hello. It is such a pleasure to be with you today. Hello. If this is the first time that you see this face and these eyebrows, hello, my name is Ayo. I'm so happy and grateful to be with you here today. Sorry, just fixing them a little bit. These are natural, so we had to take a couple of minutes to fix this. I'm jumping here quickly with a discussion about visibility. And I am extremely inspired and fired up to do that because I just ended a conversation with my amazing people from Playing Big Mastermind group number 3. And I have one more session with group number 1, and we are starting the cohort today. And I'm starting every single cohort of my mastermind with the same topic. And that topic is visibility. And the conversation that we had right now was so deep, and I got extremely inspired to just quickly come here and have a conversation about visibility and the audacity to stand out in order for you to claim the life that you want and the business that you want. And what comes up when we speak about visibility? In my career and in my experience in being 13 years in this industry and being 13 years a marketing expert and doing sales and doing all that, one of the main things that I allocate is that entrepreneurs don't spend enough time on visibility and becoming seen and having the audacity to go out there and claim what's theirs. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. And what I see is that there's so much conversation about other topics in business and being successful and creating the life that you want and the abundance that you want and the money that you want. And we somehow forget about the topic of visibility. And I think that this is so important. And the second thing is that when we start desiring becoming seen and becoming visible, what happens is that there's triggers that start kicking in. And so one of the main things that I notice with entrepreneurs, and specifically female entrepreneurs, is the fear of showing up that always has to do with the fear of not feeling enough, with the fear of not feeling good enough, with the fear of I'm not worthy, and so I'm not going to show up because who am I to show up? And by the way, if you are joining me and you're watching this as a replay, #replay, let me know that you're watching this. Let me know in the comments. I can't see the comments, so sorry about that. The comments are just not coming here. But one common thing about visibility is when people feel that they're not good enough, when people don't feel that they deserve and that they are not enough, they don't show up. And what happens is that these feelings of feeling not good enough and not worthy enough in whatever area it is, it might not be even related to your business, but it's subconsciously in you. It prevents you from showing up because you feel you have these feelings and thoughts of, who am I to show up? Who's going to listen to me? I'm not good enough. I'm not an expert. I don't have a degree in this. I don't have this big following. I'm not young enough. I'm not sophisticated enough, slim enough, beautiful enough, all these enough things that come up. And so people don't show up. And when I say show up and when I speak about visibility, it's not just a freaking post. It's not. Visibility in your business is determining what is my future as a business owner going to look like? Like, what am I building? What am I truly building? What kind of business am I building? Do I want to become the go-to person? Do I want to become the expert? And especially if you are in this game of visibility in the social media space, there could be a lot of things that come up as Oh, I don't look professional enough. Oh, I don't know enough on this topic. I need to become better. And especially if you are a woman, that is a very common thing. Most men are not like that. And the reason for that is because they don't have the conditioning that women had. Because women had the conditioning of not being good enough, because women have been judged 20 times more than men are judged. That is a common thing. We don't put any shade, or this is not even to like say that men are bad or whatever, but women have been judged more than men. And we still see it. Women have been judged in the past because women had to look a certain way in order for them to find husbands. Women had to look in a certain way and they were judged for being this or not being this or being this and being too loud or being too whatever. And they will always have this in their minds. You need to fit in. You need to fit in. You need to fit in. And so there are people paralyzed, not desiring to show up, not desiring to grow their visibility because they're paralyzed. And some people call it self-sabotage, but it's not self-sabotage. It is very often a defense mechanism that is protecting you from something. So for example, I had a client and she was terrified of showing up. And we couldn't figure out why, because she's extremely attractive, she's very good at what she's doing, but she couldn't show up. And the way she was showing it wasn't authentic, it wasn't embodied, it wasn't, just the energy was not there. So here's the thing, you could be showing up every single day, but there's no juice. People don't feel that. People just don't connect. They don't buy from you. And the reason for that for her was because she was keeping this fear that she is not good enough, and everything that she did when she was a child, she used to fail. And she used to drag that into her adult life. And so my invitation for you is to figure out, first of all, do I really want to be seen? Do I really want to be visible? There's so much conversation about visibility. I think that the conversation about visibility is extremely basic. It's very basic conversation, like telling me how often to post, how many posts per day to do, and to post every single day. That's not visibility. Standing out is not you being scandalous or you being vulnerable or you having the best looking brand out there. To stand up, there's other things and there's other elements that you have to incorporate in your brand. And the audacity, to have the audacity to be visible, to be seen, everybody to know your name. There's so much work around that. There's so much identity work. That old self of yours, that old version of you, to transform itself and become that new version that is seen, that is chosen, that has clients, that is showing up, that's authentic, that is crushing it, that is serving people, that is there for others, that's support. That's all visibility and being seen. You being able to hold space for big containers, or you being even one-on-one. It's again visibility, being seen. And so the conversation about visibility is humongous. It's huge. And it is the number one problem that I see with absolutely all of my female clients. All of them. All of my female clients experience issues with visibility. And the reason for that is what I just told you. The reason for that is of all the conditioning, of everything that we went through, of what happened in your childhood, or later on, what happened in school, what happened with anybody, like even visibility, the weird, the feeling of like weird people watching your live and commenting, even then you're like, don't do that, right? So it's again, not being afraid to be seen, not being afraid that somebody can come up with a comment that is going to upset you, not being afraid that you might not be heard, not being afraid that few people can watch. That's a lot. And especially in an industry where you're the face of the brand, it's even more to overcome and to really step into this authority, step into the audacity of being what you always wanted to be and have the life that you always wanted to have. This is such a key element of entrepreneurship. This is such a huge element as well of the game that we are playing with, creating a life that we are obsessed with. It is so important. And so I invite you to do a self-check and see, in terms of visibility, in terms of showing up, how do you do it? Especially if you are a personalized brand, especially if you are in an expert business model, and everybody who is a coach and a mentor, guide, facilitator, you are in the business of being an expert business model. So the level there is even bigger. The question now is, are you ready for that visibility? So many people, so many entrepreneurs, and I have a lot of entrepreneurs coming to me and telling me, I want to be a millionaire. Well, are you ready for what that brings? The visibility that it brings, especially in the industry that you are, because some industries, unlike other industries, they require your presence. So you can't do it behind the scenes. You have to be visible in these industries. And so the question is, are you getting there? Are you preparing yourself for that? Are you working on feeling worthy and feeling good enough and feeling that you're deserving the visibility in the eyes and being seen and all of these elements? Visibility comes with so much, especially if you are part of a specific industry. There's so many key elements to play around. And the conversations that I see, and when I see visibility being only about your brand and only about social media and only about content and offers, it's deeper than that. It's even deeper. It is about the human behind the brand. It is about the human that designs all this. And if you're the face of the brand, if you're the face of the business, yeah, are you ready to be seen? Are you ready for people to be in your world and everybody to have their own opinion and people to judge you and people to love you and people to follow you? There's also creepy people who just follow you and they stalk every single thing that is happening in your life. I've been in a situation when there was a person who literally know every single detail about myself, and it was creepy. But are you ready to have that as well? And how do you welcome this into your existence? So my invitation for you this week is to look into visibility. Am I seeing myself first? Am I allowing myself to be visible? And if something is not working, get out of there. That's what I told to my mastermind people on the call now. If one platform is not helping, use another platform, use another way. Go and leverage this audience, go and do that. But that will be all about the audacity that you have. Do you have the audacity to create the brand, the life, the product suite? Do you have the audacity to create it? I'm going to leave you with that. And I'm going to challenge you this week to be more visible. And if you have problems with being visible, if you feel stuck and if you don't feel like doing it and there's something stopping you, reach out in my DMs. Let's connect and let's have a conversation. How can we solve this and make it into something natural and something that you actually have fun with? That is my main intention.